All right, welcome back to the channel. Oh, 40% battery. Wow, haven't used this camera in a while. So we're on the Insta360 Ace Pro, and today we're gonna be working on the beta. I mean, you guys just saw the last video of riding for the season. That was actually just before Thanksgiving, and now it is 2025, so it is time to do some upgrades. The list includes guards, the rear brake rotor, the caliper, the front brake. I need to get some radiator guards in here. That's on order. That won't be in today's video. Today's video will be this front disc brake guard, disc rotor guard. We're also going to be installing some onboard power right there. This just clamps on right here. So that I can run a USB cable to my phone, and that way I can have Onyx Off-Road running while I'm riding and keep it up and running the entire time. So, should be a fun one. I don't know, fun-ish. At least entertaining, something to fill the void. For these next cool wintry months, there might be some limited content. I'm gonna try and post a video on my normal schedule every week. However, the Land Cruiser right here needs some big purchases to take place before I can do a lot more work on it. Obviously I can do body work, but body work is not exciting for me. Might be exciting for you all, but it's definitely not exciting for me. So I find I struggle getting motivated to work on body work alone. But there's other things we can do. So obviously Land Cruiser, and then bits and bobs of the plane. It's been a couple months since I busted the plane parts out. Need to finish up some riveting. The explanation for why I've been working on the plane so much lately is because those parts up there are 16 feet long, and as soon as I'm done riveting the next long pieces, it's gonna be at a point where the plane parts need to be on the ground in the garage, taking up space. Right now, the Land Cruiser is taking up valuable plane space, and I don't want to have both sides of the garage taken up by plane parts at this point. So that's why we're getting there. We're gonna work on it. That's the explanation. That is the explanation for everything going on right now. We're at a point where, yeah, the Land Cruiser could be on the road tomorrow. I'm only missing a key component, which is the engine and the seats and the steering column and the brake pedals. But yeah, anyway, all right, like and subscribe. Let's get to work on the dirt bike. We have the bike up on the stand. I got the diesel heater running, and first up we are going to loosen these big old bolts right here and here. Should make quick work of it with my Milwaukee Impact. Okay, first up I'm gonna undo these pinch bolts right here on the right side to loosen up the axle. That's a 10 millimeter. Little quick loosen, then we should be able to undo this. There we go. Alright, that came out pretty easily. There's some grease on that. Now I'm gonna undo the other side pinch bolts. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now I should be able to just take that axle out. Let's see. Maybe. There we go. Alright. And the wheel just pops off. Look at that. We'll clean this off. A little bit of gunk. Grease, nothing too crazy. It's time for front brake rotor beta to be installed. Alright, figure one, figure two. Guess I didn't need to take the wheel off. Or the axle out. Sweet, good to know. Alright, well I need to clean it anyway, so we'll just do that real quick. Alright, be right back. And worth noting, I do need new front tires, so the wheel's actually going to stay off for quite some time. But yeah, we'll reassemble it, show you how it looks, and then there'll be another video with a new wheel. Okay, quick clean of the axle, looking pretty good. Just clean out these threads. There are torque specs for the axle, nuts and everything. We'll handle that in a second. Once I get everything clean here. Now, clean bike, it's a happy bike. Make sure that all this gunk is out of there. Also, a dirty bike is a happy bike because it means you had fun. I'm just gonna throw a little bit of grease on the inside of each of these just to keep everything, you know, a little lubed up here. Make sure that there aren't any issues in the long run. Got a bucket of grease. Get everything lined up again. Almost there. There we go. Alright, now we're going to take off this bolt on the caliper per the instructions. Snug fit. Okay, one bolt is out. This, per the instructions, requires some blue Loctite. There is some blue Loctite in there already. I'm going to add some more. We're going to throw this into place and finger tight that. That's pretty easy. And now it's time for this, where this washer actually goes between the bracket and the guard. So just slid that into place behind, like so. And then you thread that into place. So I tighten that using a 6mm hex. Real quick here. Wheel still spins freely, looking pretty good. Now it's calling for torque spec to the specified specification. So let's take care of that real quick. So now that I've changed batteries and everything, the front caliper bolts are supposed to be 35 Newton meters. Get my digital thing set up here. 35 and good to go. Cool. Now, for the axle bolts, 24mm, we are going to give it a couple spins. We're gonna tighten this one with my low impact as much as possible. Make sure it still spins, then we're gonna pinch the right bolts here and torque it down. Actually gonna drop the leg for a second and do some compressions. Okay, we're gonna tighten these pinch bolts real quick. And then torque the front wheel. So that, these should be 50 Newton meters. Still spinning. And one last step. We're going to loosen the pinch bolts one more time. Do some more recompressions. Make sure that everything's spinning correctly. Back up on the stand. And then these get torqued down to 10 Newton meters according to the manual. On the left side, on the caliper side, we are going to have to get creative because if you look at that, in line with the bolt, my torque wrench can't go straight in. So that's an interesting design. Yeah, we're gonna have to get creative on that one. This side's fine, so we'll do that one first, and then we'll work on that. Might have to just be a case of mental torqueness, we'll call it that. That one's good. How do we address this one? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tighten these until they're snug with a 10 millimeter box wrench, open-ended wrench, whatever you want to use. And then I actually have a 10 millimeter crow's foot. Let's see if you can see that. So that goes onto the end of a wrench, in this case my ratchet wrench right here, and I will put this into a position where I can torque it. Now I will say, make sure that you understand the calculations here. If you need a refresher, Torque Test channel actually did a video on torque impact and using unconventional tools. So this will definitely have an impact on the torque. Because it's only a 10 millimeter bolt, I think I'm probably okay to just wing it based off of a 10 Newton meter reading. However, the distance between where the crow's foot actually engages the bolt and the axis of the wrench will impact your torque numbers. Because this is just a pinch bolt, I'm not too worried about it, but do your research on this one. Feel free to tear me apart in the comments. I don't care, because at the end of the day, you're not impacted by this. All right, we now have the rotor guard installed, so that will give me some peace of mind. Looks pretty good. I will try and provide a link to all the products that we use in this, including the Milwaukee stuff and everything, the shares and everything, but it looks good. I'm happy with that, and it gives me a little bit of extra protection when I'm out in the field to make sure I don't ride home with a broken rotor. All right, now let's install the electronics. Okay, next up is this quick charge kit, link in the description below. So it's really just 2 USB ports. Here it is, focus, focus, focus. You pull up and then slide forward, and that is USB-C. Same thing, you pull up, slide backwards, and USB-A, right? That's the big boxy one. So now I can charge my phone from up here. I'm gonna run the cord down to the battery through the plastic, and I will have unlimited juice out on the trail. All right, so up first, going to be taking the seat off. I really need to get a new seat. This one isn't in bad shape, it's just hard as a rock, so I do have to wear padded bike shorts whenever I am riding on the Beta. Okay, that pops off easily, and now let's see where we can run this thing without getting in the way. Interesting stuff here. This comes with one of those quick connect cords. The battery in the Beta actually comes with one of those too. So in theory, I could just plug it directly into the charger. Since I generally ride this enough to avoid having the jump starter or keep it on a trickle charge. And this connection is fused, so there's that. However, just to keep that a little bit more in check, I think I'm going to use this. You know, if I ever find that I don't want to have this on, I can always disconnect it. I can also use this as a charger too. So if you want to have a battery charging system, then you can get this and then just swap the plugs and not have to worry about it. So that's kind of neat. We're going to assume that this is going to live right there. I'm going to run these cords. Disconnect that connector for a second. I'm going to run this probably under and around through the headlight up here, which you can't really see. So let's see if I can bring you guys over on the ride. Let me do this with one hand. Okay, so we're going in between the bracket here. I'm gonna grab that. We're gonna go behind these electronics. Okay. And then down past the ignition, behind this bracket right here. If I can get my fingers through there. You can see it. Okay. So we just fish that through. And we're just gonna follow some of this wiring down past the radiator. Keep on following everything. If I have enough room there. Do I have enough room there? Probably not. Might be able to lift up the gas tank ever so slightly to get that wire up and under. Please hold. Sure is an 8. Okay, we're actually going to loosen that a little bit more. Some more clearance. Nice. Okay. Perfect. Okay, and that then in this case, we're just gonna have some zip ties in here. Make sure nothing goes bad. One zip tie off of this line. Gonna have a zip tie over here. And then we will do one more zip tie. Like 2 more zip ties right at the front on the handlebar. And then the last one will be just to tuck this extra wire up and in. But first we're going to attach this thing to the handlebar. There's a provided Allen key. Oh, and it is worth noting that this is also fused, so they provide you with an extra fuse in this little baggie, along with an Allen key and a rubber strip to keep everything in check. So we'll just use the provided hardware. Got you guys in a better spot now. Let's see. So we're gonna put in the rubber strip here. We've loosened the clutch lever a little bit just to get some clearance here. Now we should be able to slide this thing on. There we go. Clamp that in a way that it does not interfere with anything. Okay. So now I've got the whole system where I can pull and open for USB-C, pull and open for USB-A, and what that looks like in practice. So in practice, I got my phone with a quad lock on it. What I can do here is put that on the quad lock. So I got good view of the phone while I'm riding. And then I actually got some short USB cords. So then this attaches like that in there. And I can run a cord to my phone just like that. So that's pretty neat. This is, I believe, the 1 foot version. They make a 6-inch version, but I wasn't sure how much clearance I was gonna have. So I went with the 1 inch, or the 1 foot versus the 6-inch, and I think this will work just well. And then when I have a new phone, I can use USB-C, charge any other devices, also charge my inReach if I need to, keep that powered. So pretty snazzy stuff. All right, let me reinstall the clutch lever and brake lever, and then we should be good to go on this install. Oh yeah, and I have to do the wiring. Now it's time to do the battery work, so I'm going to undo this portion of the battery, the negative side. Put the negative right here. Have that slightly inboard. We'll do the same thing with the positive side. I hate working with electricity in general. It's just one of the things I do not like in life. Cover that back up. And then we'll just do a quick connection test, see if my phone starts charging. Tuck that in here and we're good to go. All right, 3, 2, 1. Charging, look at that. All right. Cool, so last thing to do is just put the seat back on and we're good to go. All right, seat is back on. Hope you learned something. Links in the description for everything below. And with that, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.